We're here live from Family Office Insider by Shirley. Hi, today we have Kamil Homsi. Hi, Mr. Homsi. Welcome. Welcome to my podcast. We have just finished panel on investments in emerging markets, and Mr. Hossein has been a very important figure on the panel, and we actually touch many markets. And today, I would like to talk to Camille, please, to you about what's your view on investing in emerging markets other than U.S. And also, please give us a little bit background of yourself. Thank you.
Beautiful. Hello, everyone, and I'm happy to be here. Shirley, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
The panel that Shirley just mentioned did really touch the core of investing for Americans investing in emerging market. I do come to that panel from the investment side. We are a single family office operating out of Dubai, and we focus on alternatives. Among the composition of our portfolio globally is commercial real estate, as we are a third generation and we had been investing in commercial real estate, especially the first and second generation. Since I took over, I have added renewable energy from inception, from the laboratory and the university all the way to implementation, and also on waste management as I followed the world population growing to over 8 billion, thinking of how much we produce to the landfill, of also, in addition to that, agricultural waste, industrial waste, and also surgical waste. And we had enough of that being burned. We had enough of that being buried. It is time to recycle. It is time to capitalize on all the resources that we have on our planet. I'm happy to be here.
Capitalize. Talking about capitalists. Let's talk about capital. Yes, let's talk about the capital flow. So you just said that you had the family tradition that you come down, and you invest a lot on R&D, and you also talk about you invest a lot in human resources, right? Because you said, tell us a little bit how you collaborate with universities and how you see the future of our HR.
Beautiful. I am definitely a fan of vocational and trade schools because the exponential growth of population in the world. And I always go back not far away, one or two centuries. I go back to the 70s, when the last economic paradigm was developed by the American administration at the time of Richard Nixon, and the creation of the petrodollar. That also benefited both regions. One insecurity and the back into investments. But the world today is not the same. The world had elevated many nations that include the leader, who is China, economically, financially, industrially, and also delivering a culture of seriousness and focus on work. And a nation is not built only by the leaders who make the legislation. A nation is a circular economy that has so many different tentacles in it. And this is how countries advance from premier economy or premier market to emerging market to fit into the developed market. I just want to leave a note here, Shirley, that we all must remember that developed market is laden with debt. Today, if you look at the net wealth of the G7 or G11, you will find that just the 4 or 5 countries of BRICS, they have more capital than the G7 or the G11.
Yes.
On net basis.
Yes.
So the world is changing. What that requires from leadership or from the legislators worldwide is not only to build the infrastructure that is the number one need in every economy to thrive, but also to build the human capital that can secure jobs for the new population to survive.
Yes, and I remember that you also talk about a few elements when you're looking at to invest in emerging markets, and then you also told the audience for most family offices investors that do not think well, you said near shore is a strategy. Do not go far. However, we say if you go far, that you have to have the boots on the ground. You have to have the skin in the pig, in the body. Yeah, and then you also said something like there are a few other elements that you can look at, which is stability, which is the banking system, and we're talking about. And I automatically related all this to. The market that we are familiar with, for example, is China, right? So at this moment, and we all know that yesterday we also had another panel on geopolitical risk identification. However, that let's talk about business. What opportunities do you see right now as American investor in that market?
I've been always a fan for many years of the Chinese market because a foreign investor must look, first of all, for growth, for political stability, for banking system, and for skilled human resources.
Yes, we all have that.
Then, second tier, we look into security.
Yes.
We look into risks. And we know that as LP limited partners, when we name risks, we can name 24 of them.
Yes.
We can name 24 different risks that we have to look at.
Yes.
The market risk, I mean, we look for currency risk, judicial laws, we look for dispute resolution, and we look for flexibility and freedom of capital movement in and out of the country.
Yes, and as well as you mentioned about how a country's law system that settles the dispute if something happens.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay. And I always knew that China has been always a fair country. To me, I haven't been in any disputes, but what I hear from my circuit, when we get together as global investors, anyone who share an experience, he will say, well, China government and the regulators, they were always fair, but at the same time, they always built the reputation that for an investor not to feel that he or she has been taken advantage of.
Yes.
But they want foreign investors to stay.
Yes, they welcome.
China is a country that promotes business. They did not open the door in the late or mid 70s in order to chase people away. And China today is definitely not an emerging market. It is a developed country.
Oh, wow.
A country that can build the fourth generation of jet fighters and of the best navy, and the country that built the best bridges, the most advanced train systems for transportation to also uplift the economic of its own people. I would feel comfortable investing in.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So let's talk about the other way around. And now we know there are actually a lot of Chinese companies are going out of the country, especially coming to U.S. as they see this is the next big market that they need to explore, or even despite all the obstacles or the competition. So as an American investor, that you are very familiar with your own market. When you see Chinese companies coming, what kind of give us a couple of advices that they might want to hear before planning.
I can best advise everyone on what I do.
Okay,
I cannot,
great.
I'm not reading this from a book. I am a foreign investor in the United States. There are so many incentives available from the IRS, from the Internal Revenue Service of the United States, which is the tax collector revenue department. So many incentives for foreign investors. So after you establish the boots on the ground and the strategic partner, take advantage of all the incentives that are available. And for me, out of our region of the GCC as oil producers and as growing in technology and in other, in infrastructure, and we are big supporters of renewable energy because we have a free sun and we have a free oil.
Yes.
So between both of them, I find the United States to be my main target, my main destination for security. It's a country of law, and it is also an organically growing population. When I went to school, the United States was 270 million. Today, it's almost 345.
Wow.
So a country growing in population, that means it is a circular economy that constantly offering new opportunities.
Yes.
It's in technology, it is in infrastructure, it is in farming, it is in import-export, it is in telecommunication, and definitely renewable energy. I mean, unicorns come from this country. Now,
Yes.
are they all originated in this country? No. But this country make it possible for companies to become multiple of X's on profit on exits.
Yes.
And at the same time, some of them become unicorns.
Yes.
And where is Uber from? Where is Amazon from? Where is all the other telecommunication company, pharmaceutical companies?
Yeah.
So for those foreign investors that I meet with in different conferences, immediately when they ask me, Kamil, what's your favorite destination? I say United States of America.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Why? You can make, if you want to go out of your market that you are the most familiar with, come to the United States, because United States has a myriad of offerings.
Yes.
And the United States is so many countries in one country. There are reasons.
I agree.
Take Florida, for instance. Before
Yes.
COVID and after COVID. Take Texas. Texas for a long time, it was always an independent economy.
Okay.
Today it's becoming a circular economy. The
Yes.
northeast of the United States. Silicon Valley today, that used to be concentrated in California. Today it is in Boston, the pharmaceutical.
The Boston.
It is in New York, the health insurance, and also the health and wellness. And it is real estate in Florida.
Yes.
It is technology in Austin, Texas.
Texas.
So pick and choose. You
Yes.
have a lot of opportunity here, and you have Shirley. Look at this. It doesn't get any better.
Thank you for sharing of your wisdom and your experience, because you really talk from your own past, coming all the way as a third-gen investor and now based in New York. So come and reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you, Kamil.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.